with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Tuesday, wherever you are. I hope that indeed you are having a wonderful start to your day, and I hope that it is beautiful all the way through. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome to Story Time. We do have a wonderful story coming up today, and we'll be learning about an amazing artist, and his name is Isamu Noguchi, and he brings us this book. Oh, EMILY Hughes writes this book about Isamu Noguchi, and this one is called The Snail. And we're reading it with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. A beautiful book, a little bit of a long one today, so please get ready, get comfortable, get cozy. Make sure you have your drink with you or whatever else that you need to make this story time better. Thank you so much for joining in. The Snail coming right up, but we won't be too slow. Thank you so much for joining in. And as always, please let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you, ready to enjoy this wonderful story today. And indeed, I hope that the weather is a little bit kinder to you wherever you are. Out here in Oakland, raining and cold. If you're going out, I think around now it'll be about, around 44, 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So please be ready as you're going out there. Just be ready with your jacket or whatever else that you need. And if you're driving or you'll be on the road later on, please pay extra attention. Let us make sure that we are driving slowly if possible, so that we're able to brake when we need to, and taking all precaution, of course. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Absolutely appreciate you. The Snail coming right up. But before then, let us see who is with us this morning, ready to enjoy this wonderful story. Thank you so much for joining in indeed. And good morning to you. How are you doing? Christine Costa, thank you for being here with us. Miles, you're here today. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, Owen, good morning to you. And say we have a very snowy Tuesday here. Thank you for sharing, and please do be safe out there. Thank you so much. Stay warm, stay cozy. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. Glad we could still spend some time here together on your snowy morning. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. Good morning to you, Tara McNamara, and you're saying good morning from a very snowy Massachusetts. Both Erin and Clara are here at the same time because Clara has a snow day. Oh, I want a snow day too. Thank you so much for joining in. Good to see you, Clara. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad that you're here, and yeah, enjoy the snow day. And I'm always glad, when you decide to spend a little bit of it with us. Thank you so much for making this community what it is. Thank you so much for joining us today, Clara and Erin out there in Massachusetts, and of course, Tara as well. Good morning to you, Amanda West. Thank you so much for joining in. You're saying good morning and happy Tuesday. Well, Sarah and Nathan, thank you. We appreciate you out there in gray and chilly, but warmer than Oakland, Illinois. Love it. Thank you so much. We'll try and stay warm here for sure. I have my jackets ready to go for when I'm about to head out the door. I think today is definitely a boots kind of day. Thank you so much for joining in, and please enjoy that warmer Illinois today, warmer weather in Illinois. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning to you one more time. Amanda West, Sarah, and Nathan. Thank you so much for joining us. Wild weather all over. I hope everyone stays safe. Yes, yes, yes. Christine Costa, appreciate you and appreciate that message. Thank you indeed. Thank you everybody for joining in Storytime. Excited for our book for today. It is a beautiful one indeed, and this one is life of Isamu Noguchi, or at least a bit of it, as much as you can put in a picture book, right? And this one is coming to us from Chronicle Books of San Francisco. A big thank you to them for allowing us to share books here on Storytime. It is written and illustrated by Emily Hughes. You know, we've had many of Emily Hughes books here on Storytime, so another one to add to the collection. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime today. I am excited for this one. Sharon Lungo and Soraya, good morning to you right here in Oakland. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining in today. How are you doing? Good to see you here on Storytime. Thank you for joining us, Sharon Longo, and of course Soraya one more time. Thank you so much for joining us. And also too, I must mention, as we've been mentioning the last couple months now, I think. So we do have Jack the Library Cat that will be coming out on May 11th. So get excited. This one is coming. And of course, we will have Marietta Apollonia here on Storytime. Yes, reading to us and talking to us about Jack the Library Cat. So get ready for that one and get excited. Today, though, we do have the Snail coming up right up very shortly. Thank you so much for joining in. You have a minute. Go, go, go. Grab what you need. Grab what you need. And we'll come back together shortly. I'll see you on the other side of this very short break. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. And yes, we'll be right back. Thank you for being here.
Hi, everybody. Jack and I are coming to Storytime on March 2nd, and we can't wait. I'll be showing you book dummies, artwork, and of course, reading Jack the Library Cat. See you soon. Bye.
Yes, indeed. Well, March 2nd, maybe not. May 11th, yes. We'll get Marietta to update the message, but they will be here on March 11th. So on May 11th. So please keep an eye out for that one. But today we do have this wonderful book indeed, The Snail. Wonderful story. I hope you enjoy it. This one coming to us from Emily Hughes and Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Are you ready? All right, here we go. What's that? What's going on over there? The Snail by Emily Hughes, and read with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Part 1. Out. An old man shouted into the telephone, "America never wanted me." An old man shouted into the telephone, "America never wanted me." Would he like to represent America in an important exhibition? The whole world would see it. The old man was named Isamu. Isamu was American. Isamu was Japanese. Isamu was an artist. As an artist, he wanted to give gifts to the world. Isamu was American. Isamu was Japanese. Isamu was an artist. As an artist, he wanted to give gifts to the world. He wanted to build beautiful playscapes for children. America said no. He wanted to build peace memorials burning underground. Japan, too, said no. What was he to do? He wanted to build beautiful playscapes for children. America said no. He wanted to build peace memorials burning underground. Japan, too, said no. So, did Isamu feel American? No. Did Isamu feel Japanese? No. Isamu felt like a snail and called himself one. Did Isamu feel American? No. Did Isamu feel Japanese? No. Isamu felt like a snail and called himself one. The snail had been everywhere. Tutula, Wahiawa, Jaipur, even Gifu. Yes, all over the world. Hawaii, India, Japan. Yes, even Gifu, where the cormorants fish. The snail had been everywhere. He had homes in both New York City and USA. In both New York City, USA, but he lived in his shell. Let me read that part again. He had homes in both New York, USA, and Murray, Japan. But he lived in his shell. There, the snail created wonders. Yes, he had homes in both New York City, USA, and Murray, Japan. But he lived in his shell. There, the snail created wonders. His split, carved, and fought powerful stones. He called them bones of the earth. So strong, they could live forever. He carefully shaped miniature swing sets, theater stages, and pottery so delicate they could break in one drop. Ooh, be careful. Yeah, he carefully shaped miniature swing sets, theater stages, and pottery so delicate they could break in one drop. To Isamu, they were all sculpture. He wanted them to be accepted the way he wished for himself. The telephone call only reminded him of his loneliness. The telephone call only reminded him of his loneliness. It made him angry. He felt it in his body, in his hands. That would not do. He looked around the room and saw Akari floating overhead. While his stones were polished so fine, they reflected the light of the sun. Akari were sculptures that held light within. Yes, while his stones were polished so fine, they reflected the light of the sun. Akari were sculptures that held light within. To Isamu, that light was pure gold. To Isamu, that light was pure gold. Good morning, Chrissy. Good morning, Borden. He would build on Anakari. Isamu collected his tools and stepped into his shell. You excited to see what he'll build? Me too. He would build an Akari. Isamu collected his tools and stepped into his shell. Oh, snail at work. Part 2. In the shell, Isamu was safe with his memories and dreams and worked with complete focus. His hands worked so fiercely that those who watched called him a typhoon, an ant, a demon even. That's how intensely he worked. In the shell, Isamu was safe with his memories and dreams and worked with complete focus. He felt the wooden frame in his hands. The feeling soothed him. This would hold the Akari together. His hands knew the world over. They knew the dry soil of the American Southwest and the rubble of Hiroshima. Yes, his hands knew the world over. A time ago, they had known fear as he turned on the radio to the sound of terrible news. His two countries were at war with one another. Who was he to his countries now? An enemy? Who was he to his countries now? An enemy? He traveled to Boston, Arizona. Japanese Americans were relocated there. Isamu joined them. He wanted to create beauty and community, but Boston was not a refuge. It was a concentration camp. Isamu left. The others could not. Boston was not a refuge. It was a concentration camp. Many people's lives were disrupted and destroyed. Isamu left. The others could not. When Isamu later saw what happened to Hiroshima in the war, he felt neither American nor Japanese. He felt ashamed. He resolved then to be an artist only. He resolved then to be an artist only. On the frame, the snail tied a note with string, tiny and hard like one in your stomach, like one in Isamu's stomach a long time ago. He was leaving his home, Japan, headed to America where he had been born, but could not remember. Isamu's father demanded he stay. Isamu's mother urged him to go. In America, he would have the chance to be himself, to be an artist. Isamu looked at his father, Japanese. Isamu looked at his mother, American. And chose the lonely journey. Isamu looked at his father, Japanese. Isamu looked at his mother, American, and chose the lonely journey. The ropes were cut. In his shell, he picked up the thin bamboo, wrapping it in spirals. The bamboo curled as Isamu's hair had a long, long time ago when he still had some. The hair was cursed. It made him different. The children called him Gaijin, foreigner. There in Japan, he cut his hair short. Later in America, he cut his name, Sam. No trim, no cut, no change could bring him closer to others. The snail turned the Akari's frame. From above, it looked like a fern. A Zenmai grew tall in the shade. Isamu would walk amongst them to his garden a long, long, long time ago as a boy in Japan. His garden had 50 rose bushes, a rock carefully chosen from the neighbor's yard, and a brook carved out. There alone, the snail was safe. The only place he belonged, he had created. There alone, the snail was safe. The only place he belonged, he had created. The snail found himself deep in his shell. He breathed in, he breathed out. The paper followed, in, out. Gently, the snail brushed glue to the frame and placed the paper down. This paper, unlike any other. Paper soft, soft as the worn pages of his favorite myth. From it, he could nearly hear his mother's voice. Oh. Paper soft, soft as the worn pages of his favorite myth. From it, he could nearly hear his mother's voice. Paper comforting like the light through the shoji door that soothed the homesick Isamu to sleep. What is it that soothes you when you're feeling distressed? Paper comforting like the light through the shoji door that soothed a homesick Isamu to sleep. Paper delicate like the tent that was his first home, held tight and warm within the light of the moon, a barefoot baby under the California sky. Part 3, Out Again. Isamu brushed the final sheet down. The Akari shone, luminescent, like the sun, the moon, an egg. Isamu had gone into his shell and walked out the spiral again. He was not as he was before. Isamu had gone into his shell and walked out the spiral again. He was not as he was before. He felt love from the Akari's glow. Neither art nor design, neither American nor Japanese, a marvel all its own. Yeah, he felt love from the Akari's glow. Neither art nor design, neither American nor Japanese, a marvel all its own. He put the Akari in a chest to dry. He washed his hands and made a phone call. Yes, he would do the exhibition. And do you know what he made? Yes, he would do the exhibition. Do you know what he made? A room full of light. Yes, he made a room full of light. Look at all those different designs. Look at all that light contained. And a little slide too. That looks like fun, doesn't it? Yes, he made a room full of light and a slide too. And that is the end of our story for today. Thank you so much for joining in story time today. And I hope that you enjoyed that one. And let me just quickly read the author's note just a little bit and hope that, because I think this will resonate with most of us here today, if not all of us. When Isamu Noguchi was asked to participate in the 1986 Venice Biennale, he knew it would be his last hurrah. He was 81 years old. He initially said no. The memory of Japanese people's treatment in concentration camps still delivered him pain. However, this was his long-awaited chance to be formally accepted and celebrated as an American. After a lifetime of this country thwarting his dreams, basic, professional, even romantic, he's still accepted. Saying yes to represent America was brave. He was filled with hope, as all courageous ones are. The Biennale was not a success for Isamu. His slide mantra and stone sculptures were received well, but his insistence to keep Akari in the show lost him the prize. Critics argued they were too commercial, pushing design over art. To me, they misunderstood. Akari are sculptures of joy, sculptures of lightness, impermanence, so unlike those praised at the Biennale. It is a sculpture you can plug into your house electrical sockets. Some would call it a lamp. You can find resemblance in one's a lot cheaper and one's a lot older, lit by candles. As Isamu said, call it a sculpture when it moves you so. Saying that, Isamu changed the way I viewed everything. In humble things, I practice viewing. A rock by the side of the road is art. It is a very Japanese idea, but Isamu spread it to the world. Despite his frustrations, he reached through time and did that for me. for anyone who looks at his work. When I wake in my bedroom, far from my family, I am sometimes filled with a sadness that comes with the darkness. It is the familiar light of Akari that tends to me. I am not alone. Beauty is all around me. When Isamu made Akari, he gave us a gift of love. Thank you for joining in, and thank you for allowing me to read that part too. Join me on the other side of this short break when we're back for more story time.
Hi, my name is Zetta Elliott, and I am the author of 40 books for kids, including Dragons in a Bag and A Place Inside of Me. You're watching Storytime with Mr. LaMotta.
Welcome back. Thank you indeed for joining in Storytime. I hope that we enjoyed that story. I hope that we learned from it too. So much to unpack. Some of it that we won't get into today, but I hope that it gives you an opportunity to start these conversations at home, to answer questions that our little ones may have, and indeed questions of our own. As I was reading through this, it just reminded me of so many things. Finding belonging. Where do you belong? Where can we find that belonging? How can we create spaces that are welcoming to everybody, right? And welcoming for ourselves too. So it was really interesting as I was reading that and just thinking, here's this person that spans 2 countries, and he was just never felt like he belonged anywhere. You know, being teased for his curly hair, needing to find to get into his own space so he could find that peace and safety that he longed for so much, and always seeming to reach out for that, to find that space of belonging. And sometimes it seems like it was elusive and he tried, but just want to encourage you all to keep finding those spaces, and especially keep creating those spaces to let us remember to show love to others, and also empathy indeed. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I'm glad that we're here together pondering these important topics as we read about these amazing characters. Thank you so much for being here. This has been The Snail, written and illustrated by Emily Hughes, and we're reading it with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Thank you so much to them for allowing us to bring that one here to Storytime. Tomorrow we're back with another one that will get us thinking, and this one is called Woven of the World. This one will be coming to us from Katie Hawes and illustrations by Dinara Metalipova. So join us for this one tomorrow. I guarantee you it is another one that you enjoy. And of course, apart from the beautiful pictures, well, beautiful message to boot. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I am glad that we were here together. And actually, I did have a picture to share with you of some of Isamu Noguchi's work, Akari, and so just wanted to bring that up here too. And credit to, of course, is given to the honors of the photographs. But there is Isamu in that portrait, Isamu Noguchi, in 1960s, around the 1960s, and there's more Akari on one side, and the famous Isamu Noguchi table as well. So just something to think about, something to look at next time you're out in the wild. Keep an eye out for all of that work. Thank you so much for joining in today. Absolutely appreciate you. Chris and Mitchell Adams, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us from out there in Vermont, where it is snowy today. Please do stay warm. Thank you for joining in Storytime, and I'm glad that you were here with us. Bolden, good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime today. Have a lovely, lovely Tuesday. Kristen Costa, we're in the works. It's been in the works for a while. The online store will be coming up soon, I hope. We've been working, all designs are done, so hopefully you have access to all of these and many more merch. Thank you so much, and thank you for being here with us. Appreciate you. Miles and Owen, thank you so much for joining us on Storytime today. Appreciate you. Please do stay safe, do stay dry, do stay cozy out there in Massachusetts. Thank you for being here with us. Good morning to you, Tara McNamara, one more time, and of course Erin and And Clara, thank you for joining us today. Enjoy your day off. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Sarah and Nathan, you say good morning and happy Tuesday. Well, thank you so much from out there in gray and chilly Illinois, where it is, we must say, warmer than Oakland today. Thank you so much for joining in, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you indeed, Sharon Lungo and Soraya. Thank you for joining us on Storytime. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Thank you for being here. This has been Storytime for today. This has been our story called The Snail. And now we know a little bit more about Isamu Noguchi. And of course, hopefully we dig deeper and read more about him. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you to Emily Hughes for writing such an amazing book. And of course, thank you to Chronicle Books for allowing us to read it here on Storytime. Thank you so much for being here. This has been Storytime. Remember too that Jack the Library Cat is coming out on May 11th. Yes, May 11th. And of course, Marietta and Jack the Library Cat will be here on Storytime Live. So do join us then. And also a wonderful lineup to look forward to this week. Already we've gone through Only the Best. Yes, the story of Anne Lowes. And today we're looking at The Snail, the story of Isamu Noguchi. Tomorrow we have Woven of the World. Come find out what that one is all about. And then of course we'll have Guitar Genius and Seen and Unseen. Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad that we were here together today enjoying this wonderful book and learning a little bit more about Isamu Noguchi. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. I am glad that we're here together. I'll see you again tomorrow for more Storytime. Much love from me. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing